Look, I'm trying to record a video. Do you mind? What? Remy wants you to know his favourite player was Kenny Dalglish. I tell them that all the time. They know it. They've heard it before. Right? This is my rescue dog, and he's really annoying when I'm trying to record a video. Those people that have been around here a long time will remember Rodders before him, and now we've got Remy. He was dumped in a little bin in the street, one of them little street bins, you know, on a lamppost. He was dumped in one of them when he was a puppy, and Muggins here adopted him from a Facebook post. He's alright, he's lovely. So I want to go more in depth into what the Athletic have been saying today. I touched on it earlier. What was that video titled? Something about there will be money available in the summer, but it will be sensible spending, kind of thing. And I wanted to go through the whole piece, if you like, to do with Liverpool Football Club. I think it's on what's called, is it the transfer sheet, deal sheet, or some shit like that? I can't remember. Basically, they review every football club, major football club, Premier League club or whatever, A to whatever. And Liverpool's section is as follows. I'm going to go through it with you. Was this window a success or a failure? First of all, the journalist here is Andy Jones. Was this window a success or a failure? And basically, I can't read word for word. It wouldn't be right to do so. But basically, he says that Slot, had been consistent in his message, that that he was happy with the squad he inherited, and he never once said during the transfer window that he needed to strengthen. And Andy Jones here says that considering that none of the squad departed, and including Trent Alexander-Arnold in that, because Real Madrid's approach was rebuffed, that makes it a success. So in his eyes, the fact that Liverpool didn't lose anyone means that was a successful transfer window. Would you agree with that? Circumstances such as a sudden injury crisis could drastically change that view in the coming months. It may have been an opportunity missed to improve the squad from a position of strength ahead of a busy rest of campaign. I think a lot of comments that I have seen, many from old school supporters, that knew what Liverpool was built on in the past, have said, Liverpool had a tradition of building from a position of strength rather than building when you're flapping, like, hey, we're in a really good position, let's build on it now. And that obviously didn't happen. How much did they spend and how much did they bring in? And it just says here, it talks about Liverpool, as they've demonstrated in recent January windows, they will spend if the right player becomes available for a sensible price. Makes references to Gakpo and Diaz. But on this occasion, it didn't occur. They didn't bring forward any summer plans to January. A unique market opportunity was the line they were trotting out in the run up to the window. Do you remember? It talks about all the loans, the youngsters, etc. Was there a standout signing? He's put swiftly moving on. Are there still any obvious gaps in the team? In terms of numbers of players, no. Slot likes to operate with two senior options in every position, and when everybody is fit, he has that. If we are discussing the quality of the options available at certain positions, then the answer is slightly different. Left back has been scrutinised due to Andy Robertson's inconsistency and Kostas Tsimikas not being a long-term solution. Gravenberch, he talks about him excelling as a number 6, but his deputy, Wataru Endo, is not as suited to Slot's system. He's performed well, when called upon, but if Gravenberch was out, would Slot select him to start in an important league game? Probably not. Are Liverpool strong enough to achieve their goals for the season? Top of the Premier League, winners of the Champions group phase, and still in both domestic cup competition, it is fair to conclude yes. Liverpool have arguably been the best team in Europe so far this season, and despite not strengthening, remain on course to challenge for silverware at the end of the season. I hope he's right. Will they have money to spend in the summer? This is what I touched on briefly earlier today. They should, yes. In the last 3 transfer windows, Liverpool have only spent £10.2 million on their senior squad. Federico Chiesa in August. Talks about Mamardashvili coming in a £29 million deal in the summer. With revenues continuing to increase and Liverpool pocketing a significant amount of prize money already from the Champions League, money will be available. However, sustainability is key to owners Fenway Sports Group's model, so spending will remain sensible, but their hand may be forced if Salah, Van Dijk or Trent Alexander-Arnold leave when their contracts expire. What is the priority for the summer? This remains an answer that is balancing on a knife edge, depending on how the contract situations of those 3 players work out. Obviously, if any depart, Liverpool need to find replacements in those positions. And there are other areas that Liverpool will be looking to address too. The left back, has to be considered. Basically, Saini with Robertson entering into the final year of his current deal. Zubimendi last summer pointed to Slot wanting to improve his midfield, although the surprising form of Gravenberch has made signing a number 6 less of a priority. And then he talks about another question to consider is Liverpool's number 9, given Nunez's struggles in front of goal and Jota's continued injury problems. Okay, guys, so that is the latest, if you like, from The Athletic. I don't know what you think of that. I would really... is it a fair article? Does it sound like the usual from these people? I'm not shit stirring. I'm just telling you what's being said in the article. I never thought, growing up as a Liverpool supporter, that I would be, urged to consider looking at a transfer window as being successful if no one left. I have a problem with that, but that might be an age thing, and maybe I'm being unfair or whatever. Transparency. I don't like FSG. I'm not FSG out. I'm not. It's not. I'm not going to walk around with fucking things or whatever. I don't lose much sleep over them, to be honest with you. I would just rather the club was owned by football people, that put winning ahead of profit, and don't, twist that, because you can still be a football person and own a club and still run the club sensibly and within your means. You know what I mean? I've always wanted sensible spending. Now, people throw it at you when you say, "Oh, I would take the Arabs" or whatever. They'll say, "Well, that's because you want Ferraris and £100 million players and all this." And it's like, no, actually, it really isn't anything to do with that. I don't want reckless spending. Never wanted it. I just like people that love football. Take Abramovich, for example. I don't want to get into his character. You don't know what to fucking believe anyway. Shock horror Russian billionaire might be a bit dodgy or whatever. I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think that. Oh, there's a lot of Russians around here. It's true. Fucking Russian gangsters live on corner over there. Yeah. They change the car nearly every week. Every week or so, change the car. Use a different car all the time. They always say hello to me. They invited me to the barbecue a couple of years ago. Okay, no, I didn't turn that down. Not because I wanted the food. I was like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'd love to come, yeah. Yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying. Billionaires are not billionaires for being probably nice people. I don't know. But Abramovich loved his football. And Abramovich did a lot of things in football that a lot of people don't know. When Chelsea played Scarborough, my local town, there was, if he was involved, if he took his club to, one of these like Minots or something, he might give him a 10,000 donation or something like that, or 50 grand or whatever, which might not sound like a lot of money in his sense or in the Premier League elite club sense, but to these little clubs, and no obligation to do that. I think he did do a lot of stuff like that. But I don't want to get into a debate about fucking politics or who's good, who's bad, what they've done. What I don't know. But what I mean is he loved his football. You know, that's what he loved. He loved his football. Anyway, FSG are our owners. I do believe they'll sell. I think they'll sell. There is one thing that's coming up that I've been following a bit here in Spain. Real Madrid are working with Apple to create this like a virtual Bernabeu, and we've heard of this before. You know, it's not new. You know, the technology where you wear a headset and whatever, but they're really working on it with Apple. And they were saying, like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of millions of fans around the world, if they each paid, you know, just €1, £1 a month or whatever, to have the Bernabeu in their lounge at home, a full-on, you know, experience where you can sit where you want in the stadium or whatever. And technology is amazing, right? And they were saying that on each game they could make hundreds of millions of pounds. It's scary, isn't it, that amount of money? Manchester City are also deep into this as well. Liverpool are said to be looking at it as well, but you know, it just makes me but I don't know how long it would take to become reality. Is the one thing that I could see them staying and hanging around for. But honestly, I have no idea how many years away something like that technology would be, and obviously with the existing TV arrangements at the moment, it's not possible. But I've been reading about it. You know, we're following the Spanish papers here that Real Madrid think they're going to be able to make hundreds and hundreds of millions per fixture because of all the fans around the world that want to sign up to it. So if that comes into football, imagine that. And that's if it's just £1 or €1. It's just, doesn't it make you sick, guys? Just all the fucking money in it all the time. Okay, I'll leave it with you. Let me know what you think about that article, you know, that coverage there in The Athletic. I'll be live on here at 1 o'clock UK today, and I'm doing a watch along this evening. A watch along's not very exciting. I'm just going to kick back on the sofa. I'll have my laptop there. I'll watch the game with you. You can come along, you know, and if you just want to have a natter and that. If you don't, you know, if you're going to go and watch the game, maybe you might want to come along half an hour before kick-off for a chat. Come on, jump on at half-time, you know, if you're at home and you want to express yourself or see what people think. And full-time, I don't think I'll be hanging around long, you know. I'll have been live for a few hours by then, and I'm 1 hour ahead of the UK. Do you know, it's like Batsy fucking dog around here. Take it piss, bit of sun and everyone's fucking, yeah. It's funny because I won't let my dog bark. I think it's disrespectful to my neighbours, you know, but I don't think they think like me. Anyway, if you appreciate the video, thumbs up the video. Por favor. Comment, and if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, you can hit that super thanks button, the love art under the video, and I'll give you a shout out in my morning briefing tomorrow and tell everyone how fucking amazing you are. It's not a bad day, in all fairness. It's quite nice up here. I very rarely sit out here, you know. It's nice you can't see it. There's a big table there, some chairs, a couple of lights up there. I remember sitting out here during the pandemic, and we had very strict lockdown in Spain. It was, you know, like one of the strictest in the world. And there's just behind me down there's like a lot of grassland and trees and all that. And you could sit out here on a night time, and because there was no vehicles on the roads for weeks and months, fucking dog. It certainly wasn't like this then. You could sit out here, and it was like being in the middle of a jungle. The noise, it was incredible, it was lovely. But as soon as civilization kicked in again, all them animals and birds or whatever that must have been visiting, thinking it was safe to come out, all fucked off again, unfortunately. I wish these dogs would fuck right off. Then again, I could be sat back home in Yorkshire and not hearing a fucking dog bark. Be sat inside next to a fire. All right, I'll go, guys, because I'm sure it's annoying you too. Oh, my girl's just messaged me. She loves me. Oh, obs. See you in a bit.